We're not started on the thing yet. Okay, so I get off my soapbox now. But this is why it's important to really, beyond just the normal practical part of being responsible with your money, as Christians, we really need to be responsible with our money because it shows the testimony to our faith. Because you need self-control. Okay? As a consumer, you make many decisions, not only about what to buy and how to pay, but also about whether to buy at all. Spending is a matter of personal choice as well as decision making. As a consumer, do you consider yourself informed and responsible? Do you make purchases impulsively? Or do you take time to research and compare before you buy? Kind of depends on your personality too, right? So, what are some influences on your choices? Your friends and family, changes in life, your personal values, marketing and advertising, and your personal marketplace skills. So, your family and friends. The people who matter to you, your family and friends, affect your buying decisions in ways you might not even notice. Your family has provided a model of what and how to buy throughout your entire childhood. For example, a small child, you may have gone to the grocery store with your parents. Without even being aware of it, you notice the products and brands they bought week after week. I have these friends, and before we moved here, that they, when they got married, their grocery shopping was like a kind of a point of conflict because he grew up that they bought every name brand possible. Like it wasn't like you never bought the no name or the President's Choice, like no way. It was always like the Kraft and it was just, that's what they bought. Like they never bought, ever, no name. And my friend Sarah, she never bought no name. Like her family just always tried to get as cheap as possible. And it didn't mean that they were poor or not. It was just that they didn't like to spend more than they had to on groceries, right? And so when they went shopping, it's like Steve would get all of the brand, and she's like, no, and then this, oh my gosh, right? So it's your perspective on it is you don't even realize that you have a certain perspective, and it's like, oh yeah, why would I ever pay money for beef in the store when I could just butcher my own cow? Like to some people that would be like, I just go shoot something, right? Like to some people, that's normal. Like, why would I spend money on meat? I have another friend, okay, this is just story time. I have another friend, she, and I'm not even kidding, has never once bought meat at a store. Never. Because they have always had beef and chickens on their farm. Oh yeah, and she cannot even fathom buying meat at the store. It's interesting, right? Pardon? Because she grew up that way. And the quality of meat that she's just like, she couldn't trust it because she would only trust like her beef and chicken and yeah.
My cousins, they went to Walmart and bought some meat and so she cooked it and they all got sick.
Yeah.
So she don't go to Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it can totally depend on what you would say is like, oh yeah, no, I definitely spend the extra money on that, or you're like, whoa, I would never spend money on that because I could totally do it this way and it'd be way cheaper. You have these ideas that you don't even realize, So think about that. But because for some of you, you may have never had wild game. Well, living in northern Alberta, I doubt it. But, or wild game is just like that's all you eat. You just, I don't know, because that's what your family does. But now that you are older, your friends may influence the styles you follow and the items you buy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, lifestyle changes. In the next few years, you will undergo a number of changes as you move away from home, go to school, or begin a full-time job. How will these lifestyle changes affect your spending? Changes in lifestyle usually mean changes in what a person buys. For example, getting a new job might require a different wardrobe. Oh, another story, okay. This is fun, isn't it? Do you like stories?
Yes.
Okay. When I finished my Bachelor of Education, I had no professional clothes whatsoever. I'd been going to university for 6 years. I lived in jeans and t-shirts why would I, like seriously, I never bought clothes, ever. When I would go home, like to my parents' house, like to visit, my mom would be, okay, we're gonna go buy you some clothes. Why? Because she's like, well, you have holes in your clothes and you need some new ones. And I'm like, okay, I guess so, free clothes, right? But I would never spend money, like I would never not go, if I had to buy clothes, I would never not go and buy them at the secondhand store. You just don't have money when you're in university, and nobody cares what you wear because everybody's poor. You know? Unless, there are some people at university that are like, oh, here's my Michael Kors coat and my Coach sunglasses and whatever, and you're just like, what's going on with you, right? Like, but it's because like their parents are super rich and they're paying for all their school and they just get whatever they want. Anyway, I'm not being judgmental. Those people have a completely different lifestyle than I do. Anyways, so it's normal in university to just wear jeans and a t-shirt all the time, and if you wear the same jeans every day, sometimes that's okay. Okay, that's normal because laundry is also expensive when you're in university. Okay, everything. You don't have any money, okay, and don't get a job when you're in university because then you get so distracted. You got too much going on. You've taken 5 courses at one time. Okay. So don't get a job in university. Make money during the summer, go to university. Okay. Okay, so I had no clothes, so it was bad. Like my first practicum, I got all my professional clothes from Valley Village, so. But then I didn't know how to shop. I didn't know what my style was because I had never had the opportunity to not just wear jeans and a t-shirt. Oh, I guess I could, but I'm just not as stylish. I don't think of ways. Anyways, so so I thought that, some of my friends, they had to take me shopping. They're like, well, what do you like? I'm like, I don't know. I just wear jeans and a t-shirt, right? So they had to help me learn how to shop again. So it's like that was my lifestyle change. I had no idea what I liked to wear because I never got a choice to wear anything else. In a way. Like, I guess you could have a choice to wear other things, but I just was lazy, Jeans and t-shirt always match. That's the thing, right? I think so. If they didn't, I guess And I hung out with kids that didn't care about that stuff either, so. Changes in lifestyle can mean changes in personal resources. Like I said, university, you're poor. An increase or decrease in income affects how much you can spend. More or less leisure time can influence purchases. For instance, the time and energy you might have to determine whether you prepare a meal from scratch. That can take usually about an hour to prepare a meal and to do some cleanup. Or do you just go and you buy the pre-made, things because you only seriously have 2 minutes, right? I don't know. But the pre-made stuff is always at least twice as expensive as if you bought all those things yourself. Just saying. So, major lifestyle changes often mean major purchasing changes. For example, becoming a parent means a huge shift in responsibility and resources, requiring many new purchases and many new expenses. With a partner or small group, brainstorm other major life. Oh no, let's not do that. That's boring. Okay. So. Personal values. Do your personal values play a part in your consumer choices? Unlike unconscious choices that reflect family influence or peer pressure, people usually make conscious, deliberate choices when it comes to their values. Some people's consumer choices reflect their social or environmental values. Many consumers are well informed about social issues and they make socially conscious decisions about their spending. So if you look at, the shelf of coffee or something, and it's just like, okay, normal coffee or like fair trade coffee and then organic fair trade coffee. Well, organic fair trade coffee is going to be more expensive, usually, but which one are you going to decide? Well, your social and environmental values are going to play a role in that, because it's not like saying, well, it's financially irresponsible to do that, but, so, for example, Sanhita is concerned that workers in sweatshops are paid poorly and are often subjected to long hours and unsafe conditions. She keeps informed about boycott campaigns and refuses to buy items she knows were made in sweatshops. So certain brands, like, I don't know, for example, Gap, uses a lot of this kind of labor. Josh is aware of the exploitation of farm workers that occurs in some nations when buying food items such as chocolate, tea, coffee, sugar, bananas. He looks for the Fair Trade Certified excuse me, which guarantees that the workers are employed in producing these products receiving a fair wage. So, that's a huge thing. Environmentally conscious. Many consumers today are protective of the planet and are concerned about sustainable development. They identify and value products and services that are better for the environment because they are recyclable, biodegradable, less toxic, or etc. Environmentally conscious consumers are sometimes called green consumers. They may purchase organic products and support companies that do not harm animals or the environment. For example, when buying canned tuna, they may look for like a dolphin safe label or caught with coal and line and not like a fish farm or something like that. Okay. Marketing and advertising. Have you ever bought a product because of an advertisement? Think to yourself. Give me an example. What have you seen in a magazine or online? Or you probably have without even realizing it. Because sometimes those products you don't know about unless you've seen them marketed, right? Most people have, whether they know it or not. The objective of advertising is to influence consumers to buy a particular product or service. Okay, so I'm going to leave it.
Craft dinner.
What about craft dinner?
It's one of the things to advertise.
Yeah. And then you just see it and you're like, I love craft dinner. Oh yeah.
Apple products.
Oh yeah, Apple? Man, those, have you watched Apple ads? Holy monkey! Like, let's look at one of those. Let's look, like, seriously.
To eat apples awesome.
My husband, when he says, he's like, man, you